Hey there, everybody. This is Harold LaFall. Hey, I wanted to just jump on real briefly. Some of you may know that just I guess last week I launched a new company and a new product, Good Living Now Black Seed Oil. And I wanted to kind of share with you my story and why I started this company and why black seed oil has been such an important part of my healing and my health journey. Some of you may know that about 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. And it's interesting how I came to learn about black seed oil because at that point I had never heard of it. But what happened was I got my diagnosis on August 5th, 2015, that I had prostate cancer. Well, that same week, and I think that may have been on a Tuesday that I got the call. Well, that Friday I had a speaking engagement at this nonprofit in Atlanta. And so once I got the call about the cancer, I was contemplating on canceling that speaking engagement. Because I was still kind of processing it. I was really shocked by the diagnosis. I never expected for a doctor to tell me that I had cancer. That same year, I had lost 2 friends who had passed of cancer. So cancer was kind of on my mind, but I just never thought it was going to happen to me. You know, I exercised regularly. I was healthy, and I just didn't expect that diagnosis. So I went ahead and I went I went ahead with my commitment and did the speaking engagement on that Friday. And while at this speaking engagement, I began to share with the audience that I had almost canceled it because of the cancer diagnosis, and ended up sharing with them, some of the things that I was going through. And what happened, there are 2 things that happened at that event. One, after I finished speaking, one of the young ladies raised her hand and asked if she could pray for me. And there may have been about 100 people at this event. And she got up to pray for me, and the whole room, everybody in the room also got up, and they formed a circle around me, and they began to pray for me. And again, this wasn't a church event. This was not a religious organization. It was a nonprofit organization it was a workforce development program for individuals who were looking to get back into the workforce and who were low income. And so they all gathered around me and prayed for me. And it was such a powerful and peaceful and healing and loving experience for me. And I thought I was coming to give them something or share something with them, but they gave me more than I needed to be there. I needed to be there, and I needed to experience that. And so after they finished praying for me, another young lady in the audience came up to me, and she said that she was an herbalist. And she asked me if I had heard of this black seed oil. And I was like, no, what's that? And she said, well, it's an oil that she has her clients take who are dealing with any kind of chronic illness, especially cancer, and that many of her clients who had cancer and had taken this black seed oil was now cancer-free. And she encouraged me to get some, and she said for me to take it 3 days a week. So I did what she said, not really, again, didn't know anything about the black seed oil. I got the black seed oil and I began to take it 3 days a week. And so, and I started taking it before I was going to have the surgery, because I opted to have prostate surgery where they would put 125 seeds, radioactive seeds, into my prostate, in hopes of killing off the tumors and the cancer that was in the prostate. And so the doctors initially had said that they would do the surgery, and then the second thing that I would have to do is external radiations, where every day I would have to go back to the hospital to have this treatment. Well, what happened after I had the surgery, the doctors decided that they'd hold off on doing the radiation and to see if, that the surgery, to see if the surgery had been effective. Because with any surgery or any procedure, you just don't know what's going to happen. And so 6 months passed, and I had to go back for my checkup for them to check to see if, if the cancer was still there, or if it was gone. And so went back, and the cancer, was gone. And I continued to take the black seed oil. Oh, so right before I had the surgery, I had a lot of concerns about some of the side effects that I had read about this particular surgery. One of the side effects, and anything having to do with the prostate, one of the side effects to having prostate cancer treatment is incontinence, and another one is erectile dysfunction. And I was expressing my concern to the doctor. I was like, look, I don't want to have to deal with those issues. And he was like, we have pills for that. It'll take care of all that. And I'm like, I don't want to take no blue pills or whatever those pills are that people take, or for erectile dysfunction, or whatever you take for incontinence. I don't want to do that. But the doctor doesn't care about any of that. Their job is just to address whatever your issue is at hand. And so my issue at hand was cancer. And so after I did had the surgery and everything came up clear, 6 months, no cancer, I continued to take the black seed oil. And I didn't have any of the side effects that normally are associated, with prostate cancer. I didn't have the incontinence and the erectile dysfunction. I didn't have any of that. And so I continued taking the black seed oil, not even making any connection to how smoothly my after surgery healing process had been. And so fast forward 2 years after that, and at that point, when I was diagnosed with cancer, I was 48. So fast forward to around 50, I'm going to the doctor regularly every 6 months. All my labs are coming up great. Everything looks good. And so I just stopped taking, I think I must have ran out of the black seed oil or something. And I just never went and didn't purchase it anymore. I was feeling good, so I didn't think that I needed it. I felt like, the cancer was gone, and so everything was good. Well, I didn't make the connection until maybe 4 months after I had stopped taking the black seed oil. The first thing that I noticed was I started having these aches and pains, like in my knees. It was like sometimes difficult for me to get out of the car, and I was like, wait a minute, is this all because I'm 50 now? All of a sudden it just felt like I was having all these aches and pains in my body. That was the number one thing that I noticed. And then the second thing that happened to me, and this would be embarrassing if I had shame, but I have no shame anymore. But I woke up oh God, the sun just came. Oh, this is messing up the light. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and go on. But the second thing that happened Remember that incontinence that I told you the doctor said often is associated with prostate cancer treatment? Well, one day I was in the bed, I had awakened, and I have a dog and a cat, and they often sleep in the bed with me. And so I woke up, and there was this puddle of, I didn't know what it was. And I then started thinking that one of the animals had peed in my bed. And I'm like, what is going on? And I realized no, it wasn't one of the animals, it was me. And I was like, what in the world is going on? I'm like, okay, I didn't know what was happening. And so I just thought that was just an aberration, like, okay. So then the next day it happened again. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, this cannot be happening to me. And so I made an appointment with my doctor, went to my doctor, and he said that, this sometimes happens with, people who have undergone prostate cancer surgery. There's a pill we can give you to help with that. And I'm like, I'm real apprehensive about taking any kind of medication because I know that 99% of the medications have adverse side effects on you, and I just didn't want to deal with that. And so he gave me a prescription, but I never filled it. And you know what I did? And when this happened was I was so incredibly embarrassed. I'm like, I'm gonna have to go get some Depends. I'm like, is this really my life? And so I did what I had to do, and I went and got me some Depends, and I got me the fancy kind. I got the kind that were in colors, looked like, close to underwear. And so I went and I did that. And I'm still not even associating all these changes with my body with the fact that I stopped taking the black seed oil. I'm just kind of baffled as to what's going on. I'm like, I'm having these aches and pains, I'm peeing in the bed. I'm just like, how is this my life? And then the third thing was which was really really alarming, was I ended up having a TIA, and that's, many of you may know, it's a mini stroke. And mind you, I've always been fairly, as an adult, very healthy. I've always exercised and eaten pretty well. So I had a mini stroke. I was at this store, and I had this really painful headache, and I never get headaches. I had this painful headache, and the vision in my right eye became very blurry. I couldn't see out of my right eye. Or was it one of my eyes? I don't know if it was the right or the left. One of my eyes. I couldn't see out of it, and I was like, "What is going on?" And I thought maybe my blood sugar was low, so I ate something, and that didn't do anything. And so I ended up going to emergency, and my blood pressure was super high. And I had never had high blood pressure ever. And the nurse who was there was talking to me as if I was this person that was just abusing my body. And he was like, you're gonna have to make some changes in your life. And I'm like, dude, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I work out, so I don't know how and why this happened. And so that was really scary for me because I was 50 at the time, and my mom died of a stroke, and she was only 55. So that was really alarming to me. And so what I started doing at that point, I started to try to figure out some natural remedies to kind of help with all the stuff that was going on in my body with the blood pressure, the incontinence, and the ED, and all this other stuff. And one of the things that, as I was doing my research, that came up was black seed oil. And I was like, oh dang, I had been taking black seed oil for at that point 2 years, and I just stopped. So I started taking it again, and after probably about a month or so, I didn't have to use those Depends anymore. I never used those blue pills, but everything started to go back to normal. My blood pressure went back to normal. I didn't have aches and pains anymore like I was having. And I was like, okay, this stuff really, really works. And one of the things that I know from just like all of my friends who are around my same age, you know, your body starts changing, and a part of that change that happens in our body is from years and years of accumulation of inflammation. And inflammation is what causes so many diseases and ailments in our lives. So when you're in your 20s and 30s, you can eat whatever, you know, drink whatever. But as that stuff accumulates in your body, it begins to affect you. So around 40s and 50s, if you haven't been taking care of your body, and not only your physical body, but if you haven't been taking care of your emotion and watching your stress, because stress also causes inflammation in the body. And so I realized that so many people are dealing with a lot of health issues and on a lot of medications, and all those medications have all these side effects that sometimes are causing more harm than help. And so I started this company because I really wanted to get the word out to the masses and to offer new information to a lot of people who just were not aware of alternative ways to deal with some of the ailments, whether it's high blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, cancer. I started this company really to get the word out, to let folks know, who, especially who are over 40, know that you don't have to be dependent upon all these pills, and you don't have to be feeling lethargic and be dealing with a lot of pain. And so that's been my motivation and my drive in starting Good Living now, and having this product, the black seed oil. And one of the things that I often hear of people who actually take black seed oil is the taste. They hate the taste. And so with our black seed oil, these are capsules. They're liquid capsules. And one of the things that was important to me was the quality. And our black seed oil, most of the black seed oils that are on the market that you see in the stores on Amazon, they have about 1% of the thymoquinone in it, and ours has 3 times that amount. So it has one of the highest dosages on the market. And so that's why I started this company, really to help educate, you know, those of us who are aging, so that we age gracefully, but that we have vitality, and that we are able to really enjoy these years of wisdom with our full vitality. And so, yeah, I just want to come on and tell you guys that, and to share with you about this amazing new company and this great product that we have started out with, the premium black seed oil from Good Living Now. Check it out. You can go to the website, either youareenoughnow.com or thegoodlivingnow.com. God bless you.